John, thank you very much, and welcome everybody. And will this be it? A full house, rocking and rolling already. The goaltenders, as they have been. Kelly Hrudey will make the start in net. His Los Angeles Kings 13-10 in the playoffs. He has been in almost all of them. Those are the numbers for this series. At the other end, Patrick Roy, nothing short of spectacular. #1 in goals against and save percentage for the entire playoffs, and even better numbers here in this one. Ready to go. Kirk Muller, Jari Kurri out to take the face-off, and Game 5 is underway with the Montreal Canadiens needing one more win to take home the Stanley Cup. Marty McSorley kicks it in. Jari Kurri in his own end, pumps it up the center ice, and Muller chasing it down. So it'll be Kirk Muller working on this line. Bellows with him. Knocked away from Muller. Marty McSorley will take it in behind his own net. Hard around. Right on the far side. Los Angeles dumping up ice. Warren Reichel got it ahead. Conacher shoots it in. Kurri, Conacher, Reichel on this line. Cleared around by John LeClaire.
You would have to say that the #1 priority for the LA Kings is avoiding what they have done in the first 5 minutes of games 2, 3, and 4. That is giving the Montreal Canadiens, Jacques Demers guys, 2-on-1s. They haven't really been burned by it. The LA Kings have given so many odd man rushes. They did not have a morning skate. They did not practice yesterday when they got here, so they are going from Game 3, or Game 4 at least, right into Game 5. That's a big-time sprain, but he had a special knee brace shipped in, took the warm-up. He looked awkward, Gary, but he is in the lineup.
On the far side, Brunet and Blaker going at it. Breezebart clears it off the boards, comes loose to Gretzky at center. Kurri right now and Robitaille. They get the whistle against the boards for the draw. We are just underway. First period here in Montreal.
Sandstrom has to produce for the LA Kings to win. Luc Robitaille, 63 goals in the regular season. They need him. And of course, Wayne Gretzky has to weave his magic once again to avoid elimination. Gretzky to Granato. A shot that Patrick Roy was ready for. How many shots has he not been ready for in this series? I can't remember, but a couple. Wayne continues to produce a dozen points in the Gretzky's regular right winger. That is a long time.
Jari Kurri stays out on the ice with Robitaille on one of the wings. Cleared back to Charlie Huddy, who's out there. Gary Shuchuk the away from him. Keane trying to center, wants a wraparound shot, spins it off the side of the net. Played by Jari Kurri. Kurri will get it up. The Kings have had tons of scoring chances in this series. Save made by Roy. Down goes Shuchuk. They've not been able to convert.
And even there, Gary couldn't get to the rebound. 3 Montreal Canadiens back all around Gary Shuchuk.
Being able to send it in. Shots in this series, 143 to 119 in favor of Los Angeles. Over to Granato. Granato down the right side, looking to the middle. Centering pass by Donnelly as it was behind him. Held in by Mark Hardy. Near side, Granato to Donnelly. Tipped away from him in the centering pass. Good play by Matthew Schneider. Got a piece of that. Gary Leeman to the blue line. And Leeman the shot. That's deflected, blocked behind the net. Held on to Gilbert Dion. Dion goes back to the line. Oderline couldn't tee it up. Kelly Hrudey had to kick it away. Good pressure being put on here now by Montreal. Dion going behind the net. McSorley. Dion suddenly finds himself alone. McSorley came out in front. Oderline's got it with Donnelly. Back for Dion. Dion desperately wanted to drag that out front, shoot it, but tried to go before he had it. Attempt on the kick pass comes free to Granato. Granato looking up ice, shoots up Carson. Jimmy Carson in the lineup again off for Donnelly. Donnelly, Canadiens are changing it up behind the play. They get it on people back now. Wow will hang on as he pokes it away to Dion. Dion clears it around and over Blake's head. This will be chased down and will be an icing call on the touch-up by Zhitnik. For him in Los Angeles, no score.
Never fails. The LA Kings come close in their power play, and now they have to kill one. Tony Granato was just getting a little frustrated trying to get the puck away from Matt Schneider and pull his feet out from under him. And you know, Gary, you have to think that the lead is important for the LA Kings. When Montreal has the lead, at least they don't have to stray from their game plan. And in the last 3 games, the LA Kings have only led for 10 minutes and 15 seconds in 3 games.
And the team that scores first is won, period. Brisebois, his own end. Pat Conacher poked away. Conacher trying to get it back, couldn't. Reichel got dumped by Brisebois. Short-handed effort. LeBeau, Downfus in. Downfus on the power play. Shot was blocked. Puck rolls up the boards. Bellows holds it in. Bellows shot blocked. Kick to hit. Downfus. Bellows got him down. Had no angle. Bellows back. And it comes out of the zone.
He made a blind pass, assuming that Eric Desjardins was back in the point, and he wasn't there.
Desjardins that tried to sneak in. Montreal on the power play, changing up here with 1:04 left on it.
It's amazing when that goal is wide open, how it tends to act as a magnet, even for the defender. Everybody is edging towards it.
He could be at the other goal line. You'd still try and move in. Lahr gets hit in the face. No call as Honey got the stick up on him. Back for Schneider. Schneider drops it. Bellows. Muller had it blocked. Charlie Honey clears it out of the zone. A medial collateral ligament problem generally keeps athletes out of work for about 6 weeks. He's been out for 1 day.
Well, he's been out for 1 game, but he turned 34 last week in the middle of this series, so conditioning isn't even a problem. He hasn't skated for 4 days.
Schneider tried to drop it in. J.J. Daniels steps up. 24 left on the Canadiens' advantage. There's Muller. Muller for Dion, but it hit the side of the net and went behind him. Taken by Matthew Schneider. Schneider looking as Brisebois with him. Schneider's shot deflected off Downfus high. Honey goes over to get it. Clears it out. And only 10 seconds left on the Los Angeles penalty. So the Montreal Canadiens, whose power play is not exactly sparkled in the playoffs. 14 for 79. They're now 14 for 80. Kirk Muller over again. Waters the hit. We're back to even strength.
But they're looking at recent history, which says 3 of the last 8 power plays they have converted on. That's what is important to the Canadiens.
Taken by Waters. Back in his own end. No score. Hit by Leclerc. Lehman. Can it be Leclerc setting up another goal? Shot. Yes! Paul DiPietro!
By John Leclerc. He wiped out Tim Waters. Good things happen when you hit deep in the zone. Tim Waters went to Leclerc to try and tie him up, and nobody could get to Gary Lehman. Give Lehman a lot of credit. He didn't panic. He didn't try the sharp angle shot. He waited for DiPietro to get in place. Waters down. Lehman with the puck. Waiting. Here comes his guy now. Paul DiPietro followed Shuchuk as Shuchuk moved towards Leclerc. No mistake. No mistake at all for Paul DiPietro. There is Gary Lehman in the doghouse, in the playoffs, out of the stands, and into the lineup this series. And he made a terrific play on that one.
The Canadiens, when they've scored first, they've won. They lead 1-0. John Leclerc already has 3 game-winning goals this year. Down first. Save Rooney. Rebound. Kicked away. Conacher's got it. Right on the face-off. Blake coming the other way, sends it into the corner. Leclerc, 2 consecutive overtime game-winning goals in the last 2 games. Helped set up this one, and it is now a 1-0 Montreal lead as they go for the cup.
You know what's interesting about Leclerc's assist on that goal? I don't even know if he touched the puck, but he should get credit for an assist. He only had 2 points in this round. Both of them were the overtime goals. No assists until that one.
Keane for LeBeau. Knocked away from him to Blake. 15-10 the time of the goal. DiPietro gets his 7th of the playoffs, his first of this series. Lehman and Leclerc pick up the assist. Zhitnik comes to center. Sends it in blocked. Keane's got it. Keane taken down at center. Good play by Alexei Zhitnik. Zhitnik back in. but so are the Canadiens. Waugh knocks it away. Zhitnik again trying to center, had it blocked. Comes back to the point. Huddy trying to send it in, and of course it hit Guy Carbonneau. Talk about magnets. 3:30 left to go in this first period. 8-7 the shots on goal right now in favor of the Kings. The 1-0 lead goes to the Canadiens. Tomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom leaves it. Gretzky sends it in. Waugh going back to play it. Takes a look around. Had a little trouble deciding what to do with that one. Brisebois back to help out. Gretzky moves over on him. Comes to Ronan. Ronan tips it to center. Brunet. Brunet brings it. Canadiens change it. Ronan on the right. Brunet shot. Block. Ronan turnaround. Blocked by Gretzky. Gretzky was right behind him. Came through and just put his stick down on the puck. Played by Charlie Huddy. Huddy, you see, having trouble trying to get wound up there. Generate any speed with that brace on that knee. Lyle Odeline. Just out of the zone by Granato. Delos. Save made by Kelly Rudy. And he hangs on. Canadiens up 1-0.
It was 1-0 Montreal when Vincent Dumfries had this breakaway. Goaltenders, when you come this far in the playoffs, have to know how to hold you in at the right time. And with his team trailing 1-0, 2-0 would have been a sizable hole here. Even if it creeps into 4 or 5 players' minds that maybe destiny is on the Montreal Canadiens side and they are going to win this game, if 4 or 5 LA Kings down 2-0 on a Vincent Dumfries goal, think that. Another goal, a couple other guys fall into that kicking pattern. Boy, boy, it's tough to overcome a couple of goal lead when you're down 3 games to 1. It's tough anytime.
That's when you start assigning numbers for who gets the puck and what portion of the carry. Behind the net. Crowd as McSorley and Leclerc were going at it behind the play. They separated themselves, though. Cleared up near side. Nobody there. Huddy's pass goes into the zone. And back to get it Matthew Schneider. And that is going to be an icing call. Our Budweiser Stanley Cup summary as we are here in Game 5. Montreal, you take a look at a record that is going to stand, I think, for a long time. Leclerc, 7th player in history to score overtime goals in consecutive games. And Gretzky, second all-time with 53 points during the final series in his career. 4 Stanley Cups to his credit, of course. Going after another one here. There's the man. And they say there's not a superstar on this team. Well, wait a minute.
Paul DiPietro this morning said to me, Patrick Roy is our Wayne Gretzky. As simple as that.
That's a Hall of Famer. Just waiting. Only 27 years old with a lot of W's left in front of him the way he's playing right now. 928 save percentage in the playoffs. Second only to Curtis Joseph, who faced all the pucks ever made in Canada and the United States during playoffs this season, even though they didn't last that long. DiPietro and Jari Kurri on the faceoff. Faceoffs have been an area where the Montreal Canadiens have dominated. They're top 4, all above 500 in faceoffs. LA's top 4, all below. Granato end up on the boards. It's an interesting story. Donald Dufresne right there wearing number 34. This is the first game he's played, Bill. And what a special thought process by the Canadiens to get him into the game.
Well, he would not have gotten his name in the Stanley Cup if he had not gotten into at least 1 game, because he only played 32 games during the regular season. You have to play 40. Jacques Demers didn't want to do anything to let the LA Kings think that he thought this series was over, but he also was torn with his conscience, telling him this guy served me well during the regular season. If we win it, I want his name on the cup.
So he's in the lineup. Offside. There is a whistle there somewhere. And Montreal took the shot after the whistle, and the Kings don't like it. I don't think anybody heard that, though. Everybody kept on going on an offside whistle. It just didn't pierce the crowd.
Al Gilbert Dion with the beard. His brother Marcel, who started for so many years as a member of the LA Kings, never made it past the 2nd round of the playoffs. And here's his junior brother by 19 years. Trying to wrap it up here in the Montreal Forum. I wonder if Marcel says, gosh, there's something to be said for timing, just being in the right place at the right time.
Talked to Marcel yesterday. He made an interesting point that I hadn't really thought much about. He said, you know, they were telling me, I've listened all my career about how fighting's necessary in the game of hockey. He said, I've been watching the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Don't tell me fighting's necessary to see great hockey.
Different strokes. There's Donald Dufresne. Man, we talked about in the lineup. Jacques Demers was also faced with the same situation concerning Jesse Belanger, another player that played for him on and off during the regular season. And Jacques is the kind of guy that would like to serve everybody, but his #1 priority is obviously winning this hockey game and not doing anything to get the LA Kings revved up.
So it was kind of quietly done.
Yeah, exactly.
Suddenly showed up.
There was a little article in the corner of the Journal de Montréal, which is the French newspaper that is the absolute hockey Bible. Every page has multiple articles. There was just a very tiny French article about the possibility of Donald Dufresne playing in this game.
Probably would have preferred even that to go in. I'm sure he would have. It's a wonderful thing to do. Of course, there's a risk involved. Brunet pinned up by Blake. Puck came free along the boards, though. Gretzky was able to dig it out. Gretzky will lead the charge over to Sandstrom, broken up Matthew Schneider, and that creates the offside. And a frustrated Wayne Gretzky heads back up for yet another face-off at center. That's what's happened on attempted rushes by the Kings in this series. Minute 10 to our first intermission. And we'll send you back to our studios. And during our first intermission, Gretzky's chances. We'll take a look at those. And yes, Huddy is playing injured. Back there, Jim, John. All in a minute 10.
Yeah, Charlie Huddy playing hurt. You got to play hurt. Oh, what a hit. Rob Blake again on Guy Carbonneau. And it looked like he kept his elbow down. Rob Blake has been nothing short of a human bulldozer in this series. And he hits so high, Gary. He seems to get good leverage. He digs in with his skates. And he hits up high so that when he hits you, he just tips you over immediately. When guys go down, they just don't go down. I mean, they get slammed to the ice.
That's just what happens. He does tip you over. 1 minute left to go in the first period. Canadians leading. Dion got hit by Zhitnik that time. He felt that one. Under a minute left here. Intercepted, intended for Roman. Kicked away from Dion again. Gilbert Dion tried to bang it in. Roman will play it back at center. One up on the board here. That was the setup and a good hit by LeClaire. DiPietro from Lehman and LeClaire. Zhitnik. And now Guy Carbonneau and Blake.
And guess what? The veteran won this matchup. Rob Blake has manhandled Guy Carbonneau in this shift. That replay that we showed you was the second time he flattened him. But this time he got the punch going. The right hand right into the mush of Guy Carbonneau. See Carbonneau go back at him. Watch Blake. No, sir, baby, not this time of year. So Rob Blake has to sit for a couple. 36.7 seconds to go in the period. It's a great way to finish a period and a great way for the Canadians to start the second period.
Rob Blake will head out. Barry Melrose team that must win to keep this series alive and send it back for a game on Saturday is behind 1-0. Carbonneau and the shield and helmet driven right into the side of his head.
You know what, Gary? I'm not sure that that blood isn't from that hit that we replayed in the corner, because that was a far more violent hit than it could have been from that one, but it could have been 1 of 3 that I saw.
He had enough.
Well, yeah, but guess what? He doesn't mind. It's like Tim Waters with his 35 stitches for the Kings, and Darryl Sydor, his 32 stitches in the mouth in this series. Guy Carbonneau will take this. That hit him almost under the chin on the other side, which leads me to believe that that cut happened earlier.
Pretty good rocket. Still talking here in front of the scorers table. Gregson. Tomas Sandstrom had gotten into an argument behind the play and had to be separated in the corner, and I think there are going to be extra penalties picked up here. Sandstrom is heading to the dressing room. That would indicate maybe a misconduct. Sandstrom was over in the corner after everything had ended. It was in a stand-up argument over there. In fact, looked like there was going to be a fight. It's the old situation that nobody wants to be thrown out of the game, so both held on to their gloves and stayed.
You know what, Gary? The Montreal Canadiens still think that Marty McSorley is playing with an illegal stick. In Game 4, he dropped his stick in the third period. It fell out of his hands right in front of the Montreal bench with the curved part up. They took a look at it. They didn't grab it, but they looked at it, and a number of them said after the game, Marty McSorley is still playing with an illegal stick, and that's something we can call if we feel we have to.
All roughing penalties picked up here, so Blake, Sandstrom, and Roman all pick up roughing. That means the power play still goes to the Canadiens. Intercepted by Marty McSorley. 20 seconds left to go here in the first period. Gretzky will send it up ice. Los Angeles Kings, 6 shorthanded goals in the playoffs, but they've not been able to do much of that here against Montreal. Only 1 in this series. Sent into the corner. McSorley over to get it. Jams it up, not out. Matthews holds it in. There's time. Centering back, blocked by McSorley. Sent it again off Carter Rudy's stick, and that's the first. And the Montreal Canadiens are just 2 periods away from their 24th Stanley Cup if they can continue to lead. Back with Montreal, Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, 1-0. The Canadiens are leading the Kings at the end of the first period. A victory by the Canadiens, and the Cup is theirs yet one more time. Well, you can say one thing about this series. Very little has changed, Bill. The philosophies, you knew what they were going in. It's try and beat us at our own game.
Well, we also knew that Patrick Roy was hot coming into this series. Not only hot as it goes as far as goaltenders are concerned, but technically he was perfect coming in. And the only way the LA Kings, I think, now can hope to beat him is perhaps on their power play, because they weren't even able to drive the net at even strength. They had good scoring chances on their power play in the first period. Here, Gretzky to Robitaille. They worked a 2-on-1 and J.J. Daigneault. Good scoring opportunity, but sharp angle. Another one, 2-on-1 with number 43, Brisebois, going to the far side of the net. Gretzky dropped it to Tony Granato. The thing about Patrick Roy that you notice when you watch him is that even difficult saves look easy. So when you watch Patrick Roy play, I don't think you can tell the difference between an easy save and a tough save, because they all look easy to him.
And on the power plays, Patrick Roy denied on chances by the Los Angeles Kings. They went 0 for 2. Montreal 0 for 1. Check in with Tom.
Cap, the first period's been a problem in that you've fallen behind the last 3 games. Are you satisfied with the way the team played this first period?
Oh, real satisfied. Yeah, we played real hard. We played physical the way we wanted to. We've got a lot of fight left in us, and we just have to stop putting it in the net.
Well, now the big question is, how do you beat Patrick Roy? One of your power plays, Jimmy Carson had a great deflection, and Roy was there again.
Well, we're going to try to work it low, and hopefully the box will collapse, and we'll be able to hit one of the defensemen and just jam the net and hope for a rebound. But, you know, we're real pleased. We just have to take one period at a time in the situation that we're in and try to out-battle them.
Tom talking with Cap Rader as the Los Angeles Kings were coming out on the ice. There you see Patrick Roy's numbers, the saves, and the shots faced. The Kings did have some decent opportunities. It has got to be a mighty frustrating situation right now for this Los Angeles team, which loves to run and gun. They're still averaging 4 goals per game here in the playoffs this season, not in this series. Power play underway here for the Canadiens. Blake in the box with 1:09 left on his penalty. Montreal 0 for 1 on the power play. Second chance, Desjardins wide. Pat Conacher in the penalty killing unit, kicks it out of the zone. Desjardins back to get it. Downfuss out there with it. First period shots were 10-7 in favor of the Canadiens. Matthew Snyder's got it. 50 seconds remaining on the power play for the Canadiens. Downfuss over to Bellows. Bellows, Downfuss and one up front. Bellows for Downfuss, deflected back to Schneider. Schneider's trying to center. Good lead on that, kicked out of the zone by Charlie Huddy. Huddy's out there in the penalty killing unit. Just doing it all. 30 seconds remaining on this power play chance. Desjardins starts it up ice.
You know, every shift Charlie Huddy has looked stronger. He looked weak in the warm-up. He was really hobbling on his leg. First shift, same thing, but every shift that he's played, he's looked stronger. He looks like he's normal out there.
Really playing well. Back out to Schneider. Schneider back for Downfuss. Downfuss. Schneider. Schneider drops a Brisebois. Down low. Brisebois trying to center, deflected behind the net. He was trying to get into Downfuss. Gary Curry's got it short-handed. Los Angeles for another 6 seconds. Gretzky out. Gretzky will bring it in himself. Wayne Gretzky tied up along the line. Centering pass. Only Kurt Muller was there for Montreal. Muller, the penalty is over. Montreal does not convert. They are now 0 for 2, as are the Kings on the power play. Brought in by Brunet. Benoit Brunet with Darryl Sador. Brunet. Nice poke check by Sador. Brunet back to get it. Shot save on Carbonneau by Kelly Rudy. Rifled in on goal as Guy Carbonneau is open. Keane tips it in. Great scoring chance right there. Good quick release. Again, Keane shot deflected wide. Rudy was screened. Carbonneau with Gretzky behind the net. Gary Curry's got it. Curry skating with Gretzky on this line now. He'll head to the bench to change it up. J.J. Daigneault back to get it. Touches up for the icing. Just underway here in the second period.
Well, the LA Kings survived. Now they have to get power plays of their own. As Cap Rader, Barry Melrose assistant, pointed out, they want to get the puck down low. That's near the goal line, and try to hope that the Montreal Canadiens 4 penalty killers bunch back down and hit a guy coming in from the blue line. But here's Montreal's scoring chance. I'm still wondering if that went off the post. I couldn't tell from that angle. I know you called it a save, and I know you're up 1-0 on me on those in this series. I'm trying to even it. I think that went off the post.
You got it. Thanks that you're into the ice. It's all yours.
We're tied.
Pietro has the goal. Deflected back off Robitaille's stick. Robitaille lost it. Beyond to DiPietro. He was all by his lonesome. DiPietro centering pass blocked to the corner. Bad turnover by the Kings right there. See if they get away with it. Kicked away to Carson. Jimmy Carson working a regular shift. Overskated it. DiPietro missed it on the short side. Paul DiPietro a force in this game so far. Marty McSorley starts it out. McSorley drops it. Carson to Robitaille. Robitaille in the middle. McSorley scores! This game is tied! 1-1.
But the Canadians aren't arguing it. It looked like it went post to post, but I think it went post to the inside of the net. And Marty McSorley has tied this hockey game. He did a great job of getting up on the play. You can see the two Kings made it a 2-on-2. Marty McSorley helped with the overload. It went high off the Patrick Roy. Watched it go behind him. Never even flinched. Watch it. High off the right post. And then off the last ball. It bounced behind the goal line. It never did enter the net on either side of the post. It wasn't until it bounced on the goal line behind it, then bounced out again, that the goal light went on.
They are going to make it interesting and maybe a little more. Game is tied at 1-1 as Marty McSorley picks up the goal to tie this game. They're going to call upstairs to the video replay judge to determine whether or not it crossed the line. Gary Gregson will talk with him. The video replay judge can make the call on his own or go with what they ruled on the ice.
Well, we think we've got this one figured out. Let's see if we're right. Post to post and then bounce. Post to post. Watch where it lands.
Oh, it's in there.
Isn't that incredible that it bounced behind the line and then took a cam out this way? How'd that happen? It's not in the net yet. Now it is. And it bounced out. And you wonder why there's video replay in hockey. I mean, the goal judge and Gregson both held it, Gary. The goal judge flipped the light on and Terry Gregson signaled out as a goal.
And it is still tied at 1-1.
That's Marty McSorley's second goal in 2 games, and both of them have been high. The Kings have only scored 3 high goals on Patrick Roy, and coming into this game, only 20% of the shots were in the upper half of the net. 80% were in the lower half. The scouting report on Patrick Roy is still weaker high than low.
Marty McSorley, he has been a presence physically, and a presence here as he's on the board to tie it up. Warren Reichel shot, missed it on the short side, rebound to Zhitnik. Zhitnik at the point. Did he hold it in? No. A delayed offside call. Danfus has it. 1 matter now. Canadians clear. LeBeau tipped it in the air, taken by Rob Blake. 2:40 the time of the tying goal. McSorley from Carson and Robitaille for the playoffs for Marty McSorley, and he has picked up 2 of those in this series. Third round Muller off the dasher. Muller trying to hold it in. Matthew Schneider's shot deflects behind the net. Rebound Danfus. Danfus up there with Warren Bellows. Bellows missed it. Held into overline from Schneider. Shot deflected. Did not get in on Kelly Rudy. Robert Blake was able to block it. Danfus again looking for Bellows. Danfus himself. Muller shot. Score!
Give the Montreal Canadiens all kinds of credit on this goal. Good work by Kirk Muller to keep the play alive. There's Danfus with the puck behind the net. He tries to wrap around and misfires, but Muller had moved to the front. And I don't know if you noticed on the right of the screen, Brian Bellows had his helmet ripped off and it went into 3 pieces. The linesmen were picking it up after the goal. Good play by Danfus because he was being flushed out. Kirk Muller moved to the front, and Gary Shear, Rob Blake, number 4, never really did have him tied up. And the Canadians have regained the lead. So how long did LA even stay in a tied situation? I mean, less than 2 minutes.
2:40 the time of McSorley's goal. 3:51 the time of the goal by Kirk Muller. His 10th of the playoffs, second against the Kings. Danfus picking up the assist. 3:51. Canadians lead it again 2-1. In the corner, Shaw Carbonneau. Brunet. Carbonneau cutting to the net. Brunet cuts to the net. Brunet kicks it. Couldn't get the shot off. Honey tidy one from behind. Luke Robitaille. Sidor drops it. This is what makes Montreal so frustrating to play against. You have a hard enough time scoring goals, you get one, and it's like, well, our turn, and they come right back and put it on the board. Sidor up for Robitaille. Robitaille will drop it back. While Oberline also picks picking up an assist on that goal by Kurt Muller. Set in, Tomas Sandstrom going back, losing the stick. Matthew Schneider really crunched Sandstrom, and he didn't like it, puts him in a headlock, but gets away. Canadians have lost only one game here at home in this year's playoffs. They are 9-1. The Los Angeles Kings came in here and did that in game 1 of this series. Kings on the road 7-5 this season. Do or die for Los Angeles. Tony Granato takes down Danfus. They get up. One Knights, the shining armor. Granato obviously is trying to aggravate, irritate, and pick up a penalty off somebody over there. LeBeau waiting on the faceoff against Corey Millen. LeBeau won it, and the penalty does come. Tony Granato did get dumped off the draw. Gregson was standing right there, and Danfus is going to the penalty box for elbowing. He's done it again.
Well, he's even in this game because he actually went to the penalty box himself. Tony Granato has now drawn 9 penalties in this series. This is game 5. He's still yapping. Here it is on the draw. You don't think it was the instigator in this that got it started? Gary Gregson was just glued to the proceedings.
Look at this. He's yapping at the whole Canadiens bench as he goes by.
Well, he doesn't discriminate. He took on the whole bench.
That's right. Get it all. Start at one end and go down.
Canadians don't discriminate either. 10 straight overtime wins. And they've played overtime against everybody. 2 against Quebec, 3 against the Buffalo Sabres, 2 against the New York Islanders, and 3 against the Los Angeles Kings. So the Canadiens haven't discriminated either.
Take a look at the power play. Kings, they need it here. They're down 2-1. They pick up yet another power play. Their 4th chance of the game. Danfus elbowing at 7:40. Penalty killing unit goes back to work. Gretzky will be out on the power play. Zhitnik gets it from him. Gretzky moves down in front. Tipped. Robitaille had an open net on that side, and it went wide. Rob Blake. Blake, the move. Gretzky. Zhitnik all alone. Got Keane down. Zhitnik in. Shot. Wow, the save. Rebound. Wow, the save on Robitaille.
Oh, boy, did Tomas Sandstrom want the puck. He was the guy that was open in the slot. Zhitnik's shot was rebounded to the Robitaille side, but you're looking at Sandstrom, who was standing wide open in the slot, never got it. Zhitnik with a good move here. Mike Keane goes down the block. Zhitnik yanked it once, pulled wide, and you can see Keane's out of position. Now Zhitnik doesn't know, but over to the right, Sandstrom's wide open. Instead, he shot. Patrick Roy hugged the post. Tomas Sandstrom, during the regular season, scored 29 goals in 32 games. But you can see that he has 20 shots in this series and no goals. During the regular season, he averaged 1 goal every 5.4 shots. 20 now without a goal.
That is really hurting the Kings. Gretzky with a minute 19 on the power play. J.J. Daniel batted it away. Deep pass it away for Daniel. Daniel will clear it out of the zone.
And you can tell that the LA Kings are finally on to the numbers that we've been spitting out about the Montreal block shots. And Keane and Carter are just about a sure bet to go down and fake one at that point. And the LA Kings are doing a pretty good job of getting them to the ice and walking around.
That gets the puck down lower for the chance. J.J. Daniel, the wraparound. Blake can't hold it in. Blake has to drop it back for Zhitnik. 52 remaining on this power play. Canadians are leading 2-1. Gretzky, wide side head. The elbow put up by Granato. Granato centered in front, tipped again by Robitaille. Robitaille and Gretzky both have 4 power play goals in the playoffs this year to lead the Kings. And Robitaille 2 chances on that shift. Penalty down to 30 seconds here. Canadiens still short-handed. Sent in by Zhitnik. Dump in chasing. Donnelly going in, but the puck ended up going out. The faceoff will be out at center ice. It was shot in by Los Angeles and did not touch a Canadian.
Well, the Kings are doing a lot of things right in the power play. As long as they're getting chances, they're going to continue to take shots, move wide. Now, their attack has come from the point. Cap Raiders said that they wanted to try to get the puck low, get it down to the goal line, and hope that the Montreal defenders collapse back in and then free up a point man. That hasn't been the case. Robitaille with the tip.
He's partially tied up, so couldn't get it directed where he wanted it to go. Muller comes out with Keane over the line. Matthew Schneider in the penalty killing unit. Gary Curry on the faceoff against Kurt Muller. Curry wins the draw. Monty McSorley sends it in. 20 seconds remaining in the Kings power play. Donnelly down low, tied up. Schneider, Granato. Whipped it around near side. McSorley hit by Muller. Puck still there on the boards. McSorley couldn't get it. Tipped back inside. Schneider there. Can't get it out. Held in. Sador's shot. That's blocked. Near side. Yari Curry. And the power play is over. Shot. Sador. Blocked by Keane.
2 blocks in a row. One by Schneider. One by Keane.
And the penalty's over. And the Kings are 0 for 4 on the power play in this game. And the Canadiens protect their 2-1 lead. Schneider takes it behind the bench. 10:04 left to go here. Schneider coming off the bench. Back over for Conacher. Shuchuk plays it at center. Shots even at 12. Yari Curry. There's room. May have hit the end of Patrick Waugh's glove. Waugh's down in the crease. Waugh got run into by Pat Conacher, who was following that last shot. And Waugh went down.
You only have to tell Pat Conacher once. Drive the net. This is what we talked about before this game started. And you know what? At even strength, the Kings have not really driven the net all that much. But Yari Curry's shot, what Conacher's going for is a rebound, anything. He was pulled off and his skate came up and hit Patrick Waugh. It looked like in the chest. Look at his skate blade. And it wasn't a good angle shot by Yari Curry, but because Conacher was driving to the net, see him looking? Because Conacher's going to the net, any shot's a dangerous shot. If Patrick Waugh can't control the rebound, Conacher might have a chance at it.
Waugh gets back up after the trainer came out to have a look. 66-39 in his playoff history now. 107 games he has appeared in prior to this one. And all but 18 minutes of this year's playoffs he has been in this.
Pat Conacher will take the cue. And that looked like it was deflected too. And that's Brian Bellows coming back with it. Bellows is a guy that scores goals but doesn't play much defense on certain nights. But Bellows did a pretty good job of getting back and trying to tie up Pat Conacher. His feet did hit Patrick Waugh in the chest. Now Brian Bellows has his wedding rescheduled now for mid-July, so he's all set. Many stories involving weddings. People plan weddings way ahead of time before the NHL schedule was increased to last this long.
They're going to have short honeymoons because 3 months from now it's the start of the training camp for the National Hockey League next season. Waugh wanted a longer break, so he came out. He just wanted to rest a minute here to pull his face-off man out of the circle. Brian Bellows wins the faceoff. Drop back for J.J. Daigneault. Daigneault clears it up. Cardi out center. Lost it. LeClaire. LeClaire the angle. Kelly Rudy blocked it. LeClaire sent it back. DiPietro has one of the 2 goals he and Muller scored for the Canadiens. LeClaire lost it behind the net. The penalty coming up here. And it's going to be on the Kings, I believe. And now there was a high stick behind the net. Apparently a Canadian who got Charlie Huddy, you saw down on the ice.
Oh, Gary, the arm was up before that.
Yes,
I don't think Terry Grayson even saw the hit on Charlie Huddy, so I'm going to wait on this one.
The original call was going to be on the Los Angeles Kings.
You know, Gary, John LeClaire has been compared by his teammates to both Kevin Stevens of the Penguins and Eric Lindros of the Flyers. Doesn't he look like Kevin Stevens on this one? And the similarity to me is that he's a left-hand shot like Kevin Stevens. The big leg out and just cutting in front. Here's Charlie Huddy behind the net digging away at it. Look at Paul DiPietro take him out now. While this hit is taking place, Terry Grayson's arm is already up. And he is calling a penalty at that time on somebody else. And it was on Mark Hardy. LeClaire stay with a terrific second effort to get the puck back in front, hopefully to Bellows.
Hardy gets the original holding call at 10:28 and the only call. Once the arm was up, that's the original, and the power play now for the Montreal Canadiens, who are leading in this game by a score of 2-1. The Canadiens will get their 3rd power play chance of this game. There are the numbers in the series for Montreal. Canadiens, as we mentioned during this series, they're not a team that lives and dies by the power play. They're an even strength team. Shot on over the head of Kelly Rudy by Eric Desjardins. Back up for Brisebois. His shot deflected, never got in on net. Cleared up, not out. McSorley made the block, couldn't clear. Muller couldn't get it behind the net. Charlie Huddy racing on the far side. Huddy was started out. Kings are shorthanded, overskated. Downfus had it tipped away in the zone. Muller coming back to get it. Muller hit by Huddy. Puck still there. Pulled away by Downfus. Near side Brisebois. Right back around the net. Muller, Bellows racing. Desjardins stepped up to hold it. Huddy's there. Desjardins holds it in again. Desjardins has got Downfus. Shot, save, Rudy. He had a rebound, but it came right back down in his glove, and he hangs on to it.
Boy, that's decisive by Desjardins to make that move. That was a bold move to step in from the blue line and to wind up and rip it at Kelly Hrudey. You don't have to tell the Montreal Canadiens to drive the net, especially on their power play. From Bellows to Muller to John LeClair. Look right at the top of the screen. Desjardins danced to the middle of the ice surface and just ripped one on Kelly Hrudey. Look at Muller. Looked like he was trying to step over Kelly Hrudey because he was getting jammed into him by Charlie Huddy. Instinct, just go to the net. See Huddy hitting him? Yeah, he tried to step over him, it looked like.
Eric Desjardins becoming the first defenseman to have a hat trick in the Stanley Cup Finals, and only the 7th D to have one in playoff history.
He did it in Game 2. He didn't do it in dramatic fashion, though. He only scored the tire and then the winner in overtime.
Got a long way to go to catch the all-time leading scorer in playoff history, 99, Wayne Gretzky. Face off to the right of Kelly Hrudey. A minute 17 left on the Kings penalty. Los Angeles able to clear the zone. Canadians leading it by a score of 2-1. Got the lead on DiPietro's goal in the first. Marty McSorley tied at 2:40 in the second. 3:51. Kurt Muller put the Canadians back on top. Breeze wide ahead for LeClair. Keane in the middle. Keane drops it. LeBeau scores!
The LA Kings were going to get away with this one. The Canadians on a rush. Nobody covered Keane, nobody covered LeBeau, but he failed on the first one. He was able to get his stick back down because he was squeezing his stick tight enough to get the shot under Kelly Hrudey. What a feed by Mike Keane. Now watch. LeBeau misses the first one, but he stays with him, and Jari Kurri wasn't able to hold him up. Stefan LeBeau, who has not played much of this hockey game so far, has given the Montreal Canadiens a 3-1 lead. LeClair and Keane will undoubtedly get assists.
It is a power play goal picked up by Stefan LeBeau. And a timeout is going to be taken right here by Barry Melrose and the Kings with 8:29 left to go in the second period. The Montreal Canadiens needing one more win to win the cup, have a 3-1 lead.
A couple of nights ago, Patrick Roy, after a save on Tomas Sandstrom, had this reaction right into Sandstrom's face. He said today he wasn't trying to be cocky, it was just a show of confidence, but to me it was the most subtle, ultimate way to say to Tomas Sandstrom, you ain't got a chance, baby.
Patrick Roy has this demeanor around the press. He's in public, this quiet, serious natured individual. He's got one of the best sense of humor in this game.
He is
really dry. Granato sends it in. Reichel, the tip save made by Roy. Muller gets it out for LeClair. LeClair to Bellows. Bellows with Shipnick in front. Bellows. Shipnick tied him up. Didn't get the shot off. It'll be covered up with LeClair punching over the stick. We want to welcome everyone around the world having the opportunity to watch here on ESPN the Stanley Cup Finals. All our English-speaking hockey fans on Eurosport. ESPN pleased to have brought you the National Hockey League action all season long, and now this very exciting 100th Stanley Cup playoff.
We've talked about Charlie Huddy wearing a knee brace, and as Vanna White, John Davidson demonstrated that between periods, Warren Reichel had to do that, JD. Warren Reichel is wearing a brace that is exactly the same as the one Charlie Huddy is wearing. He hurt his leg in the Vancouver series, and he missed the first game of the Toronto series, and only in Game 4 2 nights ago did Warren Reichel feel that he was close to 100%, and Charlie Huddy can't be close to 100%. Charlie told me before Game 4, a week to 10 days. He did not expect to get back in this series.
Understandably so. He is really back into it here tonight. Carson knocks it down into the zone. Donald Dufresne tied him up. Dufresne getting his chance here in his first game of the playoffs right there. Lost the puck, gets it back. I understand why his stick may be a little nervous. Cleared up and onto the Los Angeles bench with 3:06 left to go here in the second period. Canadiens leading 3-1. Our Dodge Intermission report during the second intermission. Controlling the draws. The numbers will happen for you from the playoffs and the Habs putting a record up in overtime this season. But I have a feeling it's going to be like Blue Jays, Iron, and Record.
taste it, Gary. 3 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the second period, and if the Canadians can hold, they take a 2-goal lead into the third. That's why they're hard to beat when they have the lead. Sure, the LA Kings have come back against them, but when you talk about a disciplined defensive hockey team that is patient, I mean, you can connect the dots and very easily come up with a conclusion that they are better with the lead than with behind because they don't have to open it up. They can play to their game plan, which is their strength, and away from their weakness, which is wide open hockey.
Danfus brings it in. Danfus, the backhand shot. Rudy the save. Danfus got all of that one on the backhand. Danfus' own rebound sends it through the crease. We saw the Canadians trying to win the cup here at home for the 12th time. Well, in recent years, they've been picking up their victories on the road rather than at home. They've got a way to go yet to put this one up on the board and in the record books. Breezeblatt sends it in. 2:30 left to go here in the second period. Martin McSorley behind the net overskated. Pat Conacher will come back together. Conacher near side for McSorley. McSorley lost it. DiPietro. Dion! Oh, what a save by Kelly Rudy. It's under the right pad.
Gary, I was surprised that Pat Conacher tried his long cross-ice pass, and I'm amazed that Marty McSorley tried his because they just didn't shape up quickly enough. Conacher got his through to McSorley, but then Marty McSorley did not come close to getting his across the ice. Paul DiPietro, typical of the Canadians, standing high in the offensive zone, right in the middle of the ice, fed it in to Dion. And this is as brilliant a save as Kelly Rudy has made in the playoffs, I'm sure. What a fabulous save. Dion went wide. Where did he shoot it? Well, he tried to go back in the middle. Even if he'd gone wide, Kelly Rudy had his pad there.
Well, just put that one in the back of your mind because if Los Angeles is able to get back into this game, there's the play that allows it to happen. 2:18 left to go. Kelly Rudy, an enormously important save. Matthew Schneider in the glove and held on to, and DiPietro moved in, gets pushed away.
Of all the teams that those long cross-ice passes don't work, and the Kings know that. They've had trouble in the neutral zone with them because Montreal cuts off the neutral, but Barry Melrose guys got to beware of the high man in the offensive zone too. That forward that is just standing usually in the middle of the ice, somewhere just inside the blue line. You try that long cross-ice pass like Marty McSorley tried, and they just eat it.
Canadiens against Schneider, another save. Montreal's keeping it all right there. Larry Perry took down DiPietro, he just turns around, backs away. Schneider's had a couple from the point, not getting all he wanted on that last one. The Kings are not getting any offensive thrust here right now. 21-14 shots in favor of Montreal, including an advantage here in the second as they had in the first.
Now, of all the time in this hockey game, now that they're down 2-1, the LA Kings have to concentrate on not only getting people to the net, Gary, but you know the Canadians will have 4 guys back. They have to get it in behind them and skate to the puck without having to carry the puck in. So forget about any good plays at the blue line now against Montreal. Chip it by them, get it deep into the corners, blast it off of Patrick Waugh's pads, and drive to it in all areas of the offensive zone because it won't be easy.
Down to Hard Rock time right now. Paul DiPietro on the face-off, tried to take the shot himself as he won it off Gary Perry. J.J. Daigneault sends it in, intercepted by Perry, and they'll bring it up ice. Perry, blue line, Hardy the trailer, Hardy the shot, blocked. Again, LeClaire was there along with Eric Desjardins, to center. Stepping up, Rob Blake, back on that one. LeClaire the move, DiPietro helping, shot saved by Rudy. Right along the ice on the short side. I'm not seeing Gretzky out here. Robitaille drops it off. Seems to me it's been a long time since I've said Wayne Gretzky. He comes out on the ice now. LeClaire spins around, sends it into the zone. Good call, coach. Hardy goes back to get it. Gretzky is out there on the ice right now, but he has not had a lot of ice time here in the second period. I don't think. And I'm saying that just what seemingly has happened because I haven't said his name very well.
It certainly hasn't handled the puck very much. Now the Montreal Canadiens might key on him even a little more, keep the puck away from him.
3-1 Canadiens leading, and if he isn't playing a lot, there's something wrong.
Well, we'll sure know in the third period because Wayne Gretzky would figure to get all the ice time he can handle once this is on the line in the third. But the Kings have to continue to drive, and for no other reason, what we pointed out in the open, even if you don't generate a scoring chance, you end up putting a lot of pressure on the guy that's trying to cover you, and you draw penalties. The Kings, if nothing else, have to continue to drive with their legs to draw penalties.
At center, Warren Reichel. Reichel sending it back in. Patrick Waugh there. Left it off. Matthew Schneider up to Guy Carbonneau. Cleared the zone. Muller looking ahead for Ronan. Ronan comes in. Ronan, Carbonneau intended for him. Reichel was there. Gretzky sends it across ice. And it's tipped again. Kurt Muller put that one on the Kings bench. 1 minute left to go in the second period. 3-1 Montreal. Major League Baseball. The coverage continues right here on ESPN Friday at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. The Chicago Cubs with Mark Grace take on the San Francisco Giants. And potential MVP, maybe even a triple crown for Barry Bonds. And San Francisco on top right now over Houston and the red-hot Los Angeles team. Atlanta, Cincinnati, San Diego, and the Rocks.
I still think Colorado can make a run for it.
The next to last? Yes. A little pitching. Wouldn't hurt right now.
But a lot of pitching.
Yeah, that too. Marty McSorley. Gretzky won the face-off, sends it in. Desjardins knocks it down. We're in the final minute of this second period. Canadiens playing their usual safe game here when they've got a 2-goal lead. That doesn't mean they don't push the puck up and try, but don't make mistakes to turn it over. Brunet sends it in. Huddy goes back.
But that little chip shot in by Brunet is just about what we can expect from the Montreal Canadiens. 1 man in, 2 guys back.
Marty McSorley. His shot deflected. Desjardins get a piece of that. Muller goes over to get it. Kurt Muller in the corner. Tomas Sandstormoni. 21 seconds remaining here. Will be pinned up for the faceoff.
Say 1 guy in, 2 guys back. Talk about forwards. It's really 1 man in and 4 guys back when you have the defenseman into the equation. And that would pose a huge problem for the LA Kings.
Kurt Muller, 10 goals in the playoffs. Heir apparent to the seed. Montreal Canadiens now won by Detroit.
Well, the trend has continued on the block shots. Through the first 4 games, 50-23, Montreal ahead. And tonight, 9-2. I don't have a number, but I imagine Carbonneau has about 4 or 5 of those.
20 seconds remaining here in the second period. Carbonneau kicked it in behind the net. Fire over line to the corner with it. Avoids the check. Puck comes up along the boards. Bellows clears it out of the zone. Back to get it is Rob Blake. A 3-1 lead for Montreal. Goals picked up here. DiPietro, Muller, and LeBeau. Marty McSorley for the Kings. 1 more period to the cup. And Patrick Roy, if they maintain the lead, will undoubtedly be the Conn Smythe MVP of the playoffs. This man knows chances left at another skate to the cup. Maybe down to just 1 period for his great career.
A team that's as good defensively as Montreal and as disciplined a team as Montreal. Right in the X's and O's that are answers to this situation.
Here we go. Let's see if this is it for the 1992-93 season of the National Hockey League. Played at center ice. Kurt Muller got it in, got jammed up. Muller sending it in for Leclerc. Leclerc goes and he tipped it wide. He had 2 Kings on his back, but he did get a tip. Darryl Sydor. His pass bounces off the boards, forces Corey Millen back deep. Lost the edge on that run over to Sydor. Just underway in the third. Canadiens up 3-1. Victory here, and we will have the great Stanley Cup skate here at the Forum in Montreal. Cleared ahead. Patrick Roy lets it go. Lyle Odeline goes back to get it, and that will be called for the icing. 45 seconds in the period number 3.
Perhaps the only thing Barry Melrose could do is, if he thinks there's an illegal stick on the Montreal Canadiens bench, could call in at one point in this game. I mentioned earlier that the Canadiens feel that Barry Melrose still has at least 1 player using an illegal stick, and that is Marty McSorley. But you know what? You never call an illegal stick unless you're about to be put into a terrible situation, a disadvantage.
Schneider save made by Kelly Rudy. Kept in by Guy Carbonneau. Carbonneau behind the net to Brunet. Brunet with Gretzky there. Brunet comes out. His shot deflected, not in on net. Guy Carbonneau's got it. And it's the Canadiens who come out in the third period and keep the pressure on. Brunet, Blake moves over on him. Plays Carbonneau, tied up by Zhitnik. Takes him down. Zhitnik comes away with a puck. Gets it up for Reichel, but he could not handle it. This is going to be an icing call. Nope, Juan decides not to take the chance. Reichel sends it back in behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky out there with Tomas Sandstrom and Warren Reichel again. Reichel hanging on, looking for Gretzky. DiPietro is 7th to the playoffs in the first at 15-10. Lehman endless player. Marty McSorley tied it up. 2:40 of the second. Carson and Robitaille, but it didn't take long for Kurt Muller to respond with his 10th of the playoffs at 3:51. Damphus and Odeline. Then they added huge goal. LeBeau getting it on the power play. That's his third for Keenan the player.
Well, Gary, to further that point on calling the stick measurement, you can't use it to win a series. You only use it to avoid losing. If you're in a position to win, you can only hurt your situation if it backfires on you. So you have to be in a desperate situation, and that's why Montreal, about to go down 2-0 in this series, called the stick. The LA Kings are now in a desperate situation, so they might call it, but Montreal will never call it in this game.
Boy, Marty McSorley fell down and couldn't get back up in time to avoid a chance right there for the Canadiens. Robitaille brings it in. Shuchuk, the intended. Brisebois tipped it away. Mark Hardy sends it in. However, the Kings have got to clear the zone here. 2.5 minutes into this third period. Play by Mike Keane. Keane ahead. McSorley. McSorley backs it up for Charlie Hunter. Los Angeles Kings coming in after finishing the 11th overall during the regular season. Never had the home ice advantage in the playoffs. Yet made it to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Canadiens, who finished 6th overall in the league. Back to get it. Sador on the touch-up. It's going to be another icing call. Face-off back in was.
That was something. If the Montreal Canadiens continue to dump the puck down the ice, guys like Yari Curry are going to have a field day with scoring opportunities because they're going to get so many face-offs in the other end. Besides that, on the last rush, the Montreal defense for the first time all game backed in. The closer you get to the Stanley Cup, the more careful you're going to be. And the Montreal Canadiens are showing signs already. We've only played 2.5 minutes of the third period, and they're trying to protect this lead. With that mentality, it's kind of like the prevent defense in football. People say it prevents you from winning. You don't want that. You're going to give the opposition scoring chances if you go into that mentality.
Plenty of time left in this game. Patrick Roy, away career victory number 67 in net. The Conn Smythe trophy to go with it, everyone believes, if they win. Off the face-off, Carson and Muller. Rolled in on Roy by Granado. DiPietro can't get it out. Sador shoots it back in. Granado tried to tip it, couldn't. Made on the near side. Dufresne up for Muller. Muller looking to the middle. Has DiPietro with him. Sends it down the boards. All DiPietro with Darryl Sador. DiPietro. Dion is joined in. Gilbert Dion. Dion in the middle. Garrett leaned the shot as he went short side and missed it. Conacher clears it out. They return to break. Granado, who was cutting. This is going to be an icing call the other way. Snyder with a touch-up. Canadiens 3 and the Los Angeles Kings 1. They wave it off. Played out of the zone by Montreal. Desjardins in the middle. DiPietro couldn't get it. Now Daz. Take it away. Honey checked it away. Gretzky sending it up. Sends from Donnelly. Come up to Gretzky now. Wow, Odeline flips it down the court. Shipnick. And Shipnick's going to be forced to play this. Canadiens change. Canadiens in particular will try and keep fresh legs on the ice. Keep those shifts short here in the third. Renee sends it in. Blake back already there. Left it for Blake. Carbonell forcing the play from behind the net. Right up to Gretzky. Gretzky. Donnelly cutting. Dumped it in. Donnelly had to hold up to stay on side. Odeline back to get it. Montreal crowd. Lots of noise. Donnelly. Another increase with each tick of the clock. Matthew Schneider. Over to Guy Carbonell. Carbonell waiting. Dropped it in the middle. Rolling the shot. Missed it as he went high over the left shoulder of Kelly Rudy. Shipnick again plays it back. The Montreal Canadiens an incredible 72% winning percentage in their history on home ice. 208 wins and 82 losses here in the playoffs. Unbelievable number. Yari Curry brings it up and dumps it in. Played by J.J. Daniel. Daniel back. Robitaille had moved up. Held in by Yari Curry. Robitaille. Shuchuk's in front of the net. Take it away. Ball not out. Hardy holds it in. Robitaille again. Robitaille sent it. Curry was cutting. Couldn't get there. Had a moment. Deflected by the player into the seats. 15:23 left of the third. DiPietro got the first goal in this game. McSorley tied it in the second. Muller gave them the lead just over a minute later. And LeBeau, goal number 3. 3-1 Montreal. They can't help but keep sneaking the peek up at that clock as you head to the bench. Tipped up in the air. Muller able to clear it out of the zone. Blake back to get it. Blake sends it in. DiPietro back. Desjardins. Eric Desjardins. Blake again at center. DiPietro couldn't hold it in the zone. Jerry Lehman just came off the bench, dumped it back in. Third up ahead by Zhitnik. Zhitnik with Carson and Granado. Granado off his skate. Snyder not out. Late shot. Deflected wide. Off the back of the net. Centered. In front shot block. Granado. Granado couldn't get it again for the shot. DiPietro comes. Dion with him. Blake in the middle. Gilbert Dion. DiPietro. Dion. DiPietro scores! Second of the game! 4-1 Canadiens!
Sure, when John Demers asked who wanted to be a hero, Paul DiPietro was one of the first guys to stand up. 2 goals in exactly the same location in the net. Top glove side on Kelly Rudy. Paul DiPietro during the regular season scored a total of 4 goals for the Montreal Canadiens. He played 29 games. Here tonight he has 2, a good feed from Gilbert Dion. And in the playoffs, Paul DiPietro for the Montreal Canadiens has 8 goals.
Lionel got one of the assists. Dion had the other. 12:06. DiPietro 8 overall. Second of this series. Both in this game. And the Montreal Canadiens. The countdown is underway. 7:33 left to go in the third period. That's how much to the cup. Gary Curry. Tomas Sandstrom. Blocked. Desjardins. Gary Curry to Gretzky. Kicked into the corner. McSorley puts the hit on. Picked up Guy Carbonneau. The Canadiens captain with Roman in the middle. Carbonneau waiting. Rene Cummings over Roman. Nobody got a stick on that one. Comes to the near side. 7 minutes left to go. Gary Curry. Canadiens change. Curry to Gretzky. Gretzky into the middle. Kirk Muller is there. Muller clears it out. Hardy fell down. Gets Leclerc though as he goes by. Hardy steps up for him. Mark Hardy leaves it at center for Tomas Sandstrom. Lost it to Muller again. Muller to Leclerc. Leclerc, Muller, and Bellows. Just missed Kirk Muller. Muller sends it back. Leclerc giving it up to him. Backed up Sador. Muller steps in front. Muller left it in the corner. Bellows. Bellows with Sandstrom on him. Bellows centering pass. Leclerc was coming in front. Got knocked down in front of the net by Mark Hardy. Gretzky brings it back to the Kings. Gretzky moving. J.J. Daniel. Donnelly the shot. Blocked again. Right on line. Leclerc. They've blocked almost as many shots as they've won overtime games. Amazing. It's part of the story here. Blocked shots in this series.
And besides that, Gary, you know, a lot of people talk in sports about the little things. It's the little things that add up to victories. And the Canadiens have won in all the little categories that we've been tracking as well.
Fundamental play. Held in by LeBeau. Behind the net, Danfus. Danfus. Zhitnik moves in. Danfus. Try to wrap around. Blake got it. Blake sends it up. Breeze ball back to get it. 5 minutes and 38 seconds left in this game and in the season. Took away by Rudy. Keane moved in. Zhitnik knocks it away. The Montreal Canadiens, 76 years of hockey. They have had 6 different names of teams that have won the Stanley Cup. The AAA team, the Victorias, the Shamrocks, the Wanderers, the Maroons, the Canadiens. Shot DiPietro, bounces off the glass. Kelly Rudy backed it up. Near side, Dufresne. Donald Dufresne. He will get his name on the cup if this lead holds up for another 5 minutes. Corey Millen has got it. Millen comes, dumps it in wide side. Granado back. Desjardins. Eric Desjardins lost it. Robitaille. Robitaille couldn't get it. Desjardins they can. 4:30 left. The only two names on that bench currently on that cup, Patrick Roy and Guy Carbonneau. Last time they won it. Behind the net, Yari Curry has it. 4:22 left to go. The Los Angeles Kings down by 3. Montreal dominating play again here in the third period. McSorley comes over, trying to freeze it up. Guy Carbonneau pinned it on the boards. They say intentionally, and they'll move the face-off out of the zone.
You know, Barry Melrose didn't buy into the ghosts, didn't buy into the theory that the Montreal Canadiens had the hockey gods in the rafters here looking out for the Montreal Canadiens. He said that would be an insult to Jacques Demers. He said if I was up 3-1 in the series and somebody said that a coach who coached 40 years ago was responsible for my win, I would be insulted. And that was paying respect to Jacques Demers.
I think he misses the point on that one, though. Clear ahead to Carbonneau. In the corner, Huddy. Huddy trying to back it out. Carbonneau pushes it away. Ronan over to get it. Ronan and Reichel. Reichel almost took his head off. Kings having trouble getting out of the zone here. Down to 3:50 remaining. Huddy drops it in the middle. Ronan checked it away. Down to Dufresne with it. Dufresne sends it up through center. Played there by Brunet. And again on Rudy.
I think I'm inclined to agree with you. If you consider that since World War II, the Canadiens, the longest they have gone without a Stanley Cup is 7 years. And guess what? This is the 7th year since they won their last one, 1986.
To recognize you are part of a great hockey heritage takes nothing away from those who play at any given point in time. Matthew Snyder tipped up in the air. Leclerc. John Leclerc drops it off. Bellows couldn't handle it. Comes back out to center ice. 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining to go. Darryl Sador's got it. Sador bounces it off the boards. Schneider sends it right back in. The fans just wanting to explode, already envisioning in their mind's eye the sight they know is to come in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Sador, his shot deflected in front, sent back out.
And Montreal, for a very good reason, has gone to the 0-5 forecheck. Nobody in, 5 guys back.
Everybody playing defense. Knocked down by LeBeau. LeBeau again sending it in on Kelly Rudy. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. As we said at the top, sports is always great theater. Scripts are written in sports like this one. Why shouldn't the Stanley Cup be in Montreal, won by the Canadiens on its 100th anniversary? No one's had it more than they. DiPietro, while DiPietro deflected into the corner. Brisebois just dumps it in behind the net. To be brought up by Blake. 2 minutes to the cup. Patrick Roy lets it go over his head. Brisebois trying to jam it out. Robitaille there. Batted at Keane. Keane sends it out of the zone. Will be icing. Kelly Rudy plays it. The fans are rising. 1 minute 44 left to go. Carbonneau in. Zhitnik on him. Carbonneau with the puck underneath him. Zhitnik pokes it away. 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the Montreal Canadiens getting set to put away their 24th Stanley Cup. Carson tipped it into the corner. Dufresne up for Brunet. Robitaille, poke checked away. Donald Dufresne. This will be an icing call. 1 minute and 5 seconds left. The cup you'll see at the end, the original cup was retired in 1969. The replica is on top. They've continued to take layers off the cup as it's continued to be loaded up, of course, with the rings. Last time they took off the rings from 1928 to 1940 were retired. The original cup and those rings are in the Hall of Fame. The cup you'll see out there is still the Stanley Cup, the oldest in sports to be chased down by professional teams. Matthew Snyder. 1 minute left to go. Bellows from center. Ends up in the seats. 46.6 remaining. Patrick Roy. Ron Smythe Award will be announced after the game. The MVP, the player brings it in. Under 30 left to go. They will win this 4 games to 1, just as they have won the last 2 cups. Wow, it's a go wide. The final 15 seconds, just turn it up, listen, and look at the sound of a Stanley Cup champion.
Wayne Gretzky's last crack at a Stanley Cup. He may no longer be the greatest player in the world as we speak, but to me he's the greatest player who's ever played the game.
There's not one negative word on that one, I'll tell you. You saw the Conn Smythe trophy along with the Stanley Cup being prepared to be brought out on the ice. There's the man who's going to take it home.
There is no question about this Stanley Cup. The Canadiens are deserving champions. 6 games against the Quebec Nordiques, 4 against the Buffalo Sabres, 5 against the New York Islanders in the conference final, and 5 to wrap it up. They deserved it. When he came over the boards, Wayne Gretzky was the first one there to shake his hand. And he gave Jacques Demers his stick. Demers has now passed it on to one of his players, but Wayne Gretzky gave Jacques Demers his stick.
Then he survived. One of the heroes Heroes of the Canadiens is with Tom Mees. Tom?
All right, Kirk Muller, the assistant captain of the Canadiens. Do you describe your feelings for us, Kirk?
Well, you look over all those years and you always look at the champions and you think what a feeling would be great. And it took 9 years, but I tell you, we did it with everybody. Everyone paid the price, and it's the greatest feeling in the world right now.
What did you say to Wayne Gretzky and the LA Kings in the live?
Well, you got to give them a lot of credit. I don't think before the playoffs started, either team was expected to be here. And both teams play well as a club and both worked hard all through the playoffs, and they deserve a lot of credit. And we have played our best hockey to win it.
And you described it for folks in America, the feeling for a Canadian boy to win the Stanley Cup.
Well, it's like being, I don't know, a New York Yankee in baseball or something. This city just thrives on hockey and loves it. To be able to win it here, it's just the greatest place to play, and we're all excited. And it's a great feeling.
Congratulations. Patrick Roy, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, is with me now. Patrick, congratulations. Fantastic series and a well-deserved MVP.
Thank you very much. But, you know, it was a big team thing right now, and everybody was working hard, and that's the reason why Montreal won the Stanley Cup.
What did you say to Kelly Rudy in the reception line?
He was awesome on the other side. He made super save, and he was just great.
All right, they're handing out a piece of hardware now you may be interested in. You better go. All right, Jacques Demers, the head coach. All right, Jacques, I think they're handing the cup. You better go get it. We'll talk to you in a minute. It's pandemonium here on the ice. Let's go back upstairs to Gary.
There it is. Conn Smythe, Patrick Roy, second time. Only the fifth ever to win it twice. Gretzky, Lemieux, Bernie Perron, and Bobby Orr. And now Patrick Roy, two-time winners.
That is Denny Savard that just walked up to him and gave him a big smacker on the side of the cheek. As the clock was winding down, Denny Savard was standing behind the Montreal bench, crying his eyes out. And you know, Gary, there really wasn't anybody close.
De la Coupe Stanley. On the 100th anniversary of the Stanley Cup, it is only fitting that it goes to the Montreal Canadiens for the 24th time. Congratulations to the players, to Ron Corey, to Serge Savard, to Jacques Demers. Guy Carbonneau, captain, please come and take the Stanley Cup.
Now you see one of sports' great moments right here.
And Gary, the first thing Guy Carbonneau did when his name was called was grab Denny Savard and drag him over to hold the cup first. What a captain.
That's Savard.
comes naturally. It almost looks like they rehearsed it. They did not.
The wonderful thing about the Stanley Cup, most of these players will actually take it home. They will put it on a plane or in the back of a car during this summer. They'll actually take it to their towns and cities, show it off, have a party, have a parade. It's one of the long-standard traditions of the Stanley Cup. You can actually check it out. It has been lost, dropped, never destroyed. Tom Mays.
Hi, Gary. I'm with the Canadiens captain, Dean Carbonell. Gave you embody, I think, what a captainship is. Congratulations to you. Thank you very much. I think everybody deserves it. We worked really hard. A lot of people said that we were unlucky, but 10 in a row, we had to work really hard. Tonight, there was a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we came really hard. So I think everybody deserved it.
What was the key in this series? Was it the play of your young defense or Patrick Roy? What was it?
I think it was everybody. I think during a regular season, a lot of people didn't think that we had a team to make it. We had a young defense. I know everybody knew what Patrick can do, but they really responded really well. A lot of the other teams put a lot of pressure on our defense. They kept coming back, and you got to give them credit. Now that we won, they deserve everything.
One more question for you. Classy thing you did, dragging Denis Savard over to get the cup.
Well, Denis, it's too bad for him. He couldn't play, but he's got a lot of. He's a team player. He wanted to be behind the bench. He makes a lot of. He gets involved in everything. After 13 or 14 years, he deserves it.
You've been here before. It never gets old. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The captain of the Montreal Canadiens who won their 24th Stanley Cup. Great guy, Dean Carbonell, Gary.
There is Denis Savard, and take a good look. This is one of the few times you will ever see the inside of the Montreal Canadiens locker room. It's a part of the superstitions. You see the great names and pictures that are put up over the lockers. Those plaques contain the names of the people who have played before in this team and who use that particular locker. Canadiens have won it 4-1. We hope we'll be back with you in just a moment. Hang on. John Saunders.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. And I got to tell you, a couple of melancholy guys sitting here. Jim Schoenfeld, 1975 with the Buffalo Sabres, losing to the Philadelphia Flyers. Then in 1979, John Davidson with the New York Rangers, losing to the Montreal Canadiens. You guys know how the Kings feel, and you would like to feel what Montreal's feeling right now.
Yeah, you can't even describe the feeling. I mean, you see it in the eyes, you see it on the faces, the players, the trainers, the coaches. It's just magnificent. It's something I'll take to my grave, never having had that feeling. But I certainly appreciate the effort of the Canadiens and the Kings. Both teams played extremely well, extremely hard, and it was just a tremendous series. I mean, I enjoyed covering it. It was exciting just sitting in here, John.
I think it was a tremendous playoff. I really do. I think hockey is on a rise. There's a lot of things happening. Congratulations, of course, to Montreal for what they did. Again, complete team effort. A lot of blue collars there. Jacques Demers and team got it done. Congratulations to Los Angeles. They brought playoff glory to a new area in Southern California and across various parts of this country. And, of course, Wayne Gretzky. I think he's a treasure to the National Hockey League. Looking ahead, good luck to Gary Bettman as our commissioner. There's a lot of things on the table. There's a collective bargaining agreement that has to be settled over the summer. The referees agreement has to be settled. Welcome to Anaheim and to the Florida Panthers. We've got more hockey around the world. It's great stuff. And as Bob Johnson always said, it's a great day for hockey.
Great day for hockey.
It's a great playoff.
Absolutely right, yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it certainly was. And congratulations once again to the Montreal Canadiens. They do it after losing Game 1, come back and win 4 straight against the Los Angeles Kings. We'll get back to the Montreal Forum, where they are still celebrating. Will be into the wee hours of the night in just a moment.
Asked every player this. What was it that pulled it together for this team? You were down 2-0 to your arch rivals in the first round. It seems every team that wins the cup has a close call. What got it together for you?
I just think the character of this team came through, and we all pulled together, and we found each other. The preparation and just the heart. I mean, you look around this room, all the famous players, and there is character, and it really helps you.
This is a big grind getting this far, and I don't think the average fan appreciates how long it takes.
I tell you, I told Kirk Muller 4 minutes ago it's going to be the greatest and most fun, hard work we're going to have the rest of our life, these last 4 minutes, and it did. You're tired, but at the same time, you're exhilarated.
Congratulations, Brian.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Brian Bellows of the Montreal Canadiens, soon to join the ranks of the married men of America and Canada. Now let's go upstairs to Gary Thorne.
Tom, thank you very much. And it is a long, hard grind to get to the Stanley Cup. But as we said, for these players, it is a lifelong dream. And that's why Denny Savard was in tears behind the bench.
Gary, every player that Tom talked to mentioned team. And I think everybody that wins the Stanley Cup or wins a championship understands what that's all about. To me, it's incredible that year after year after year, the Canadians are able to maintain that team atmosphere here. When you consider that in the last 45 years, this franchise has only missed the playoffs once. In the last 51 years, they have only been below 500 on home ice during the regular season once out of 51 years. Why? Because just about every athlete they bring into the organization understands the term team, and you win championships when you understand team.
Yep, there really was no other way to define this as we went along in this series, trying to point out to you the things to watch for and the things that were going to be happening. We thought it ultimately for Montreal, day after day, game after game, came down to simply TEAM. Should mention Los Angeles Kings, their locker room is still closed. They are meeting, I'm sure, with Barry Melrose. Bruce McNall is here talking to them, and they just need a moment to regroup before they face the onslaught of the press. A surprise Cinderella team is what they were in the playoffs. Kelly Hrudey couldn't have played better. They just met a better team and a better goaltender.
Well, Gary, they may be a surprise team, and they were, I agree, a surprise team in the playoffs. That doesn't ease the pain. And what we have just witnessed in the Montreal Canadiens dressing room with Tom Mees and all of those players, all of the joy and all of the celebration, the pain is equal on the other end of the spectrum in the LA Kings locker room right now, and that's why they have their locker room closed. I'm sure that they're feeling very close right now and probably communicating that love that they have for one another, because they became a team as this year went along as well. And Barry Melrose deserves a ton of credit as the catalyst that brought them together. Wayne Gretzky has always been a team player. But the same thing goes for the LA Kings, what I said about the Montreal Canadiens. You do not make it to the Stanley Cup Finals without understanding the concept of team.
And worthy of note in this, as the series is over and the season ends, not very long ago, the Pittsburgh Penguins were simply it. I mean, I think most of us put them in a category alone and said somebody may challenge, but it certainly was expected they would be in the finals. Parity in the National Hockey League this season, which the officials of the league have wanted, came to be. We saw so many teams so competitive, evidenced by the two that ended up in the finals.
You're absolutely right, Gary, and that doesn't mean that the Pittsburgh Penguins will not be back next year. I happen to think that right now perhaps the Penguins are the prohibitive favorites to win the Stanley Cup again next year before the season has even started. But an indication of how far the Montreal Canadiens have come. They were down 2-0 of the Quebec Nordiques and went to overtime in Game 3. Had they lost that, would we have seen them? We'll never know.
All right. Drenched in champagne, Tom Mees.
Okay, but Paul DiPietro had 2 goals tonight.
You know, we played a good game tonight, a solid all-around game, and it was just a great time to play good. And oh my God, this is great.
Well, what was the key in this series?
After that second goal, well, I knew it was over. 4-1, you know it's over. And now we're going to do a party on Mount St. Catharines. Anybody coming or what?
What was the key in this series, Paul? You guys' defense seemed to just shut them down at every
They
time.
wanted to go on offense with us. All we had to do is play good defense and wait for the breaks, and we did that tonight. It was a great feeling.
What do you think about Patrick Roy's performance?
Patrick Roy is the best goalie in the world right now. He's going to make a lot of. He's a great guy and a great goalie. And without him, we wouldn't have been here.
You're going to make a lot of money. That's what you wanted to say.
I was going to say that.
All right. Paul DiPietro, of course, Patrick Roy's deal is up, and there's been some speculation he might be the first $3 million goaltender. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go back up to Gary and Bill.
I think Patrick Roy will probably make just as much money as he wants to make. I can't imagine him going anywhere else. Can you?
No, I can't imagine him wanting to go anywhere else. He's got to get the parade first. The Montreal Canadiens organization will have their parade not tomorrow, Thursday, but they will have it Friday after the city cools down a little bit.
Bill, we have another team that we didn't have time to thank here, Aziz, because we never know when it's going to end, but our ESPN team has been nothing short of fantastic. One of those people with us here is Elmore Gandy.
The book's been a good book all year for the Kings. Did the epilogue ruin the season?
No, we didn't reach the goal we had, and we set our goals very high, but we made a lot of strides here, and we're becoming an excellent organization, and we've got it now, so our young players, our Sador, Zhidniks, and Blakes now expect to win, and our older players now have turned the corner, and you know, that's when you get an organization that expects to win, and then you've got something.
People will look back at the stick measurement and say everything turned there. Did that call turn the series?
No, that call turned that game because it put them into overtime. They beat us in overtime, and then you know, the 2 other games at home we lost in overtime. We have to win those games. That's winning and losing. Once you get into overtime, you have to win some of those games, and we didn't do that.
What did you tell them in the locker room after the game?
Well, it's a bittersweet thing for us right now, for me as a coach, because I lose very hard. I'm very competitive. But as a coach, I just feel blessed that I have this group and have had a chance to be with this group. It's a special group that you don't have all the time as a coach, that you genuinely, it almost turns into a love thing. And then I know people at home, they think they can't believe that, but as a coach, and we played 120 games this year, these guys, the Huddy comes back and plays tonight when he shouldn't have. Taylor played 2 games when he shouldn't have. Conacher plays when he shouldn't have. You see Gretzky night after night. You see the kids night after night. It just becomes a special relationship between a coach and his players.
Any doubt you're back here in this spot in a very short time?
I don't think so, because with the 3 young guys in defense and we've got some young guys in the wings, and I foresee all our older guys, maybe this will spark them and even make them better. The Currys, the Gretzkys, the Sandströms, all of the best years. Granato was a force. That guy, seeing that guy play every night. So, and we'll make our team better this summer.
All right, Wayne Gretzky's season. No doubt he'll come back. Do you think he's revived his career?
Yeah, Gretz went through a tough time this middle of this winter, and I think the last 3 months he got the fun back. He was jumping tonight. He was great tonight, and he's got a smile on his face most of the time now, except when we lose. And he'll be back with a passion next year.
All right, congratulations on a great year.
Thanks, Al. Thank you.
Back, Gary.
They like to say in Montreal, the Cup is back home. Everyone who cheers for the Canadiens considers this home for the Cup, the Forum, and the Montreal Canadiens have won it. It has been a delight this season for all of us at ESPN to be part of this 100th anniversary celebration of the Stanley Cup. Here, and joining us, of course, were ABC games. We are delighted to be part of that. We're going to be part of that for years to come, and in all likelihood, there'll be even more National Hockey League games coming up. Most of you know ESPN2 is going to be going on the air, and the National Hockey League's going to be a great part of that. Bill, it's been great working with you.
Thanks, Gary. Great work with you as well. I really enjoyed the comments for the guys back in the studio. John Davidson's talking about the bright future of the sport of hockey. I agree with John, and especially Jim Schoenfeld's feeling that he will take the Stanley Cup loss that he incurred to the grave. I happened to play on the other side when Shoney was playing for the Buffalo Sabres. I won the Cup that year. Shoney lost it. The feeling that the Montreal Canadiens have right now will last a lifetime.
We hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have at 11:15 on SportsCenter. Wayne Gretzky will be available at that time, and you'll be hearing from him. That's going to do it from the Forum in Montreal. The Montreal Canadiens have won the Stanley Cup for the 24th time over the Los Angeles Kings. I'm Gary Thorne. Good night, everybody.